picked, and now FUT's picking it, and now we get to see CNET on new maps. Yesterday, he didn't really have a chance to do that much. Here, will he have a better chance?
Nice. Well, off to a probably contested start. Already going to be challenged. Yeah, masses of Carmine Core flooding through middle already. Going to find CNET at the very beginning. The captain tries to deal with it, and they just can't. Martin off to a blistering start. That's going to be good for the confidence. 2 already for him, and it's going to have to just kind of spur on the rest of FUT to try and focus on getting this plant down. Not what they wanted on that one. The second time of asking a little late. No, it does actually catch a little bit of chip damage, but 3 in the post plant is going to be difficult. Still with the flash and the dart, but that's about all they've got.
Ability's going to come off cooldown soon.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, oh, massive work from Mr. Fall in there. Probably going to be good for him. Oh, but he is! FUT making this genuinely look doable. Mr. Fallen waiting for the secondary player to show. What the hell was that spacing? That got so dangerous. In the end, KC do make it through this with 1 man standing, but Josh, that got way too close.
It got really close, but at least it's just pistol, right? It's not like it's a gun round where now everyone's broken. Sage Wall used that middle after they got that kill onto CNED. And I wonder if CNED or FUT want to do like a little bit of a slower approach, because one thing I've noticed about him is that if he's shut down early in the game, it feels like his confidence takes a huge hit, and then it's hard for him to recover. So if they go too quick and Casey's able to put him down, then he's going to not have a great game. I wonder if they do a slow approach.
And I think that's something we want to highlight early, and I've seen what's happened on the screen. If you're playing along at home, the stage will be red. Yes. I can only apologize. Next time I'll be less PC, and we'll see if that speeds things up. But going back in, let's a quick reminder on this. Carmine Core, 1 round to the good. They won the pistol. Yeah, it got a little bit close, a little bit dangerous, but they got the job done with 1 still alive. I believe that was Shin. Moving back into this, just Sheriffs, odds and ends, and not much else. And Tomasi, straight away, going to find the pick.
Well, that was a little anticlimactic.
Story of my life.
It's a creep up maze here. See that gets the better of Shin. Caught by surprise. 4 and 4 now.
Okay.
Spike having a chance to get planted, but still a tall order, 4 foot on the attack side here.
Yeah, this isn't... it's more whether they can hold it in a post. If they get another kill, things get a little bit more interesting as it stands. Did manage to recover the Bulldog. Knife coming out. Oh,
oops.
Well, that's an issue. As Carmine Core going to take that as the red carpet rollout. Time to get towards the site. Magnum needs to clear the closed box. Yellow Jay's going to find a rate. This is starting to get a little bit dangerous. They're getting a little bit closer on this one. Mr. Fallen, last man alive. Sheriff, I believe, only has a couple of bullets. Oh my god, okay, just whips that back out. And now there's issues. Martin's been seen. What are you meant to do here? Needs to get to half. Martin, toying with him. Oh my god, a classic? Fair enough, yeah. However they get there, scoreboard says 2-0.
FUT look dangerous again. I mean, that's something that we saw yesterday and something we've seen throughout the entire season, is that they look dangerous when they have those Sheriffs. And catching Shin off guard like that makes you really wonder what was really going on there. But yeah, that first pick on out of captain at B was going to set things off. And I like how KC is waiting for all of their players. We've seen other teams, you know, Fnatic played today. We've seen Fnatic on this map, and they were maybe peeking a little bit too much on, you know, some of these situations, but KC waiting for everyone to be grouped up, all 4 of them going together for that retake. As we come into the bonus round, I guess, for KC. Only Sheriffs in hand, plus an Outlaw. They're really budgeting for that next round.
Yep. We can see if they can cost FUT much here. Of FUT, I mean, they've been highly competitive, even some substantially weak purchases, so might get to see a little bit of that. CNED off to a blistering start. Magnum removed. Gonna have to follow up with potentially 2 more if they want to go towards that A site. Big opportunity there. Lovely. Be happy with that. 1-for-1 trade out, but we can see where the spike is. It's mostly focused towards. Is this enough to bring a player back over? Don't think so, especially now. But very deep towards the site before kind of revealing their intention. Plant going to be coming in. Looking to see that lurk as well. There's a lot of pressure on these 3 players to hold the site, and another fake. They're not committing on this plant.
Big lurk coming from Yedajay. Still going to take another 5 seconds to develop. They can catch them all in the back.
Yeah, out of everyone, should be able to pretty much stop this round from ever starting. A little bit of a tag, doesn't matter. All clean work. Nice pause there from FUT towards the side, waiting for that lurk to find an effective timing.
Continually tapping the spike to say, hey, we're planting, bait out more utility, maybe bait out a reaction, but they're realistically just waiting for Yedajay to be able to get in the back lines there and secure the round with that big flank. Big opening kill from CNED onto Shinnigan. I don't know why KC on a round like this, where they're running 4 Sheriffs and an Outlaw, why they're kind of like in this 2-1-2 setup, where they're kind of spread around the map. They need to take more of a gamble there and just stack a site.
He's got a really good land nice.
A nice land nice?
Yeah. Solid.
What's your land nice sound like?
Don't know. It's been a long time. Oh dear. Oh dear. There it is. That's what we're waiting to see. The play-in for CNED finds massive value off the back of this. Utilizing that Hunter's Fury to kind of set it in motion. Add a captain to follow up as well. KC looking a little flustered in this. Magnum holding the back line, going to stop them from spiraling out of control. And he's still going to hold position. Rex has found a rate in the meantime. Yeah, beautiful work. Magnum desperately trying, but 2 still alive. And it's scrappy, yes. And it's going to be a hard-fought battle, but instantly stabilizing this scoreboard back to 2 apiece. And FUT looking like they're trying to play in CNED a great deal more than before.
I love how CNED's able to go in with the tag.
Yeah.
And the Hunter's Fury, get his kill, get out. And then off the back of that as well, Krax is just running up. That is a good land nice.
It's powerful.
You're right. Nice war cry.
Yeah. Get you ready. At this point for Carmine Core, let's see if there's some damage to be done. They're going to need to get a grip on this game relatively early, because we're starting to see a couple of the win conditions hit online for FUT, which is, CNED starting to be warm, they're playing him in. Looks like, a nice little approach as a team. We're starting to see that nice synergy coming through. Not taking any risks in this after that initial skirmish towards B long, backing over towards A, and considering the space that Yellowjay's got them, don't blame him. So he can just kind of post up here and pretty much secure the entirety of this. Very, very difficult for KC to even find a window to do some damage back in. Maybe get a couple of ults online though, Shin. Obviously, Tomasi not a million miles away. Narrate still got a ways to go, but it's, on the horizon. But on the other side, you've got a lot of impactful ults very nearby.
KC looking to see if FUT gives any opportunities for an opening here. The most they can do is get closer to the ults, maybe damage the economy a little bit.
That's about all they're going to get for this one. CNED just... If he's going to start warming up here, this could be a big game for FUT. Noted those issues before. Hoping to see a higher level out from him and the rest of the team as well. Carmine Core, it's time to strike back for them too. Looking to see when that first buy round really comes in here after what's felt like a drought.
I wonder when Casey's going to take a timeout here. There are more and more ults coming online for FUT. They now have KO's ultimate ready. And we've seen them having some pretty quick openings as well. I know at the start of the game I was saying how maybe they give CNED a little bit of an opportunity to see how the round develops, but right now they're getting all the opening kills that they need to get. So it's on KC to make an adaptation instead of FUT. FUT can keep their foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, they certainly can. With 3-2. Already, you're seeing KC postured up here. Our team
should run.
maybe looking to deal with the lockdown. There's a lot of bodies around this. First shock dart, oh my god, came in, but Krax was so ready, they've got to back away. They can't stop this any longer. And this should be a free site. They might counter at some point, but as it stands, it's only Narrate trying to walk a little further forward. Playing a very precarious game here. And FUT with 5 standing in the post plant, looking at the utility, had a captain, still got a little bit of something, still got the molly with the Yedajay, and to add kind of insult to injury, gonna pop the ult on the KO too. So very little for Carmine Core to try and implement here. Wall not going to be available. Rez not going to be coming through. Magnum, though, outdoes one, but the trade's in place. 4v3, making it 4v2. CNED looking like he's on a heater. Already double digits. So we are in the 6th round. He's looking absolutely on the money. And KC starting to run out of time. Yeah, Krax goes down, but you can hear that clock ticking. And this is when the stall from that utility can come into play. Tomasi going to get a drive-by on the way out, but the damage is done. And another round will be on the board for FUT.
I like the investment of the KO ulti here. Magnum has lockdown, and he's going to use it at screens on that retake if given the opportunity. But once that null point comes out, he can't use a lockdown anymore. By the time it runs out, it's too late to launch a lockdown of that opportunity. So, great retake, great post plant rather, for FUT. No real options for KC yet.
No, they can get a buy together in this coming round, and they should have their snowball round almost in hand. One away from the Viper's Pit, one off from the Hunter's Fury. Everything else is there. On the other side, obviously burning a couple in the last round, but to good effect, right? They've started to build a nice little bit of buffer behind themselves. Starting to see like 6K, 4K. You know, they're going to have a buy in hand for FUT, so they'll be happy enough with how this is going. Ooh.
Interesting combo, but that takes out the turret.
Kind of nice, yeah.
That's all they needed. Now it creates a question mark for KC. They have to put a person in the middle. They know that YettaJay has lurked up through tube and through middle before, so KC dedicating a player just to prevent that now.
Lovely concept. And a very aggressive lean. This be long. Martin, they'll stick around just to see if he can catch a glance, but did he spot him? I felt like he might look back, but YettaJay certainly knows that he's got a little bit of space to take, and it's an individual endeavor. On his own, again, just kind of catching glimpses of each other, which may draw some attention further. The spike yet to be committed. Look how deep FUT are getting on some of these sites here. Cracks right on the verge. Still, hesitation shown. Not sure where they want to end, it looks like FUT.
YettaJay in a really precarious position. All the way up yellow, going for the super late flank, but he is going to call his teammates back. And I like this audible.
30
seconds run down
left.
the clock substantially.
No Viper means no orb to cross. No wall for safety.
This is getting so late. This is a very dangerous push. Yes, there's a little bit of space gathered, but again, you're walking I don't want to say blind, but in a little bit of danger. It looks like it. They've actually got a shot at this plant now. Yeah, uncontested. Plant goes down and Tomasi falls. Mr. Fallen's found that. That was in middle, punishing the cross and kind of playing a little bit and causing that paranoia now into an even 4v4. This is where it gets a little bit more dangerous. Shin does have the res, but an opportunity to use it? Yes. Tomasi back up. Now we're going to have the Viper's Pit if they feel. Gonna pop the Rainer ult, I mean, why not? But can they hold in the post now? Martin tries to make the cross, the lid just didn't do what they wanted. Good 2-for-1 trade out though, but numbers now even. Cracks. Oh, what? The little look back? Oh, this is just... Oh, beautiful work from FUT to hold that post plant. They got right there then.
This has to be a KC timeout coming in.
It's gotta be, right?
So one of the things that has happened here in their role swap, Narrate going to Sova off of Gecko, and then Martin off onto the Reyna now. It means that right now their positioning is a little bit awkward. Normally we see Narrate being able to move around a lot, helps with the retakes in a lot of these situations with the wingman going on the spike, the mosh pit being able to kind of lock out some certain angles. But right now, it looks like he's trying to be part of the action a little bit more, but they're way too spread apart in these like 2-1-2s. And what that's doing is it's letting FUT walk around and find these opening picks and find this little bit of space. And when they grab that little inch, they get to take the mile.
Flash prepared, seen it though. Look how low he's been taken here. Not sure what caught him early on, but down to 23. Maybe a little bit of spam, maybe a shock dart or two, but something really chipped him away, which could be very disruptive for that later game plan, or even trying to work him in early. Stalemate for the moment, as a very broken buy for KC will have to be brought to great deals of effect. Easier said than done, there's pause, but remind yourself where Magnum sat. He's got a good idea of what's happening. Similar scenes for YettaJay, just kind of sitting there making sure there is no flank coming, making sure no one's pressuring the back line. Magnum close enough that you could potentially hear rotations or even maybe note someone, but Martin going to receive damage on the other side. Luckily, having that sage will at least keep you topped up on HP too. And 45 seconds now, and here comes the adjustment. Magnum feels as though would have spotted enough of this and seen on the other side.
Tomasi needs to get a couple here.
That's big. One and done. Doesn't need to overstay. Yeah, there it is. Perfect. Really nice approach from Tomasi. Knowing what he needs to do.
30 seconds left.
And there's just nothing looks available for FUT here. They're starting to, you know, run a little low, run out on players, and starting to run out on time. 23 seconds, leaving CNED on his own towards that pit side. And the rest over towards A. But KC haven't pulled the rotations. CNED just trying to kind of show a lot of presence here, trying to pull these players back, which they're going to have to respond to. They're still on a very light purchase, and they're curious here. Here it is, Hunter's Fury, 9 seconds. Eyes on the clock. There's only so many options. Should be able to get a fair plant now. Enough HP to be able to weather attack if needed. And they get what they wanted from this. This is huge. Nice work from FUT here to try and toy with them, drag them around on the other side of the map. And Shin goes down. Still a couple more players nearby, but this wasn't the perfect purchase. A couple of people even missing armor. Martine without any. You can see Magnum without any. This is rough around the edges, but Narrate with a great shot. Gonna take away the player on the site still. HP low for Cracks. HP low for CNED. And they start getting overwhelmed. CNED down to very little, but he's still doing a lot. Martine 4 HP on the other side. This is getting so dangerous, and CNED heroics here. Outdone by Martine. Gonna get the quick heal, but the time. It's running so low on Cracks. Doesn't need to make too much of this, just needs to play it safe, and he's done very well at that. As much as you'd love to have seen a bit more of a contest on it, they go down with the ship, and FUT carry on as intended.
KC, we're looking really good in this retake situation, but yeah, the time comes down so low, and CNED has the opportunity to just like keep moving around these tight angles around maze, high-low angles, and he's able to pick them off one at a time. And I think KC really needs to change up how they approach their defense right now. They have the Reyna, but they're not leveraging the Reyna doing to kind of like Reyna things, meaning like she's not taking these really super awkward offense to be at the kind of garage area, and then all the like the deepest Reyna has gone so far. Martine has been basically like the backside of maze. We haven't seen her go all the way deep, all the way towards jail, for example, or into a nest.
Okay, last time around, a similar look happened here at the beginning for at least CNED and FUT. Last time CNED took a load of damage early on, maybe from spam or just a little bit of utility. First fair fight he's got. Beautiful from Martine, much better there. Playing a little more posted up, gonna dismiss away, get a quick heal from Shin, and they've taken away the first man forward being CNED. Now, what's the rest of FUT look like without that? They still have that same level of impact. Carmine Core kind of cheated the early body here as well. 4 players on this side of the map, just 1 on the other. Yellow J, yeah, he's in danger here, could get closed down on, but he does get away with his life. Find a captain. What? How did Mr. Fallen find Magnum there? Martine's still on the site, but there's so many angles to worry about, and he got his attention drawn for a second, and he was punished for it. Viper Spit gonna be there. Tap on the spike. What do we have on the other side?
Just the dart.
Pretty useful in these instances. Didn't get what they wanted either, but this should be go time now for the plant to come in. So time's gonna be on their side. KC using that as a moment to move around by maze. Tomasi and Narrate starting to clear through. It'll be probably Cracks the first man they run into, but let's see how this fares in the pit. Cracks does have a little bit of stall here, so we can allow their attention to turn elsewhere for a second. Takes a look. And actually, Tomasi catches a glimpse first. And now down to 1. Out of captain, where are you? There you are, spots them both and gets them both. FUT carry on. A Red Bull clutch to close out that 9th round, and they'll be happy with this. Unstoppable since the pistol. Look at that run of rounds. This has been very one-sided.
And this is the FUT that is scary, right? The FUT that's getting 3, 4, 5 rounds in a row because they just keep on going. And once all of them are feeling it, we see that here with their timings are looking really good. So even though that they make a little bit of other mistakes, like for example, the person that has ultimate is the one that's planting the spike in a couple of situations, right here, they looked so good coming in together and making sure that they're getting all of those trades. Protecting each other.
And the buy is so broken for KC. Just kept under the heel of FUT for so long now. And a big adjustment. KC going for it. It looks like a gamble on this. Might catch Mr. Fallen potentially. Depends on the timing. Yeah, I don't think he's going to stick around long after that Lear. If anything, might spur this on. And Magnum just looks a little one and done. The judge ain't going to help you there. Magnum. Oh, it's a sting up. Leaves a sour taste. Is that a captain going to clear through? And that's the site open. He's got a little bit of time, but not enough to really deny getting backside control. The knife's not landing. Not as he wanted. Martine getting in their faces. Here we go. Maybe a little bit of life left in them yet. Down to 3, though. Wall goes up. Mr. Fallen in a lot of danger here. Down very low on the HP. At a captain, similar scenes, but Yellow J still sitting pretty. I don't know if Shin and Tomasi have it in them to close this down. Can they make it a 3rd round, potentially? Try and draw some eyes.
1 enemy remaining.
Hear that go. Yeah, the J going to deal with Tomasi, who was the player on the spike. They now know where Shin was too. Just too much in front of them. FUT seems so well prepared for all of this, Josh. They don't look phased at all.
This is not looking good for KC. Their map pick
Yep.
They changed comps. They had everything going into this that they needed. They're on defense right now. What happens when they go into attack? They have the single initiator. They don't have the wingman for planting.
Yep.
It's going to be a very different story for these guys. And it's going to be a story about CNED just getting in their faces. He's 15-8 right now, and there's only like up from here, right?
Yeah, he's already done enough, right? If you're looking at kind of making up from that previous loss that they suffered, he was a name that came to mind, and it wasn't just him having an off day, it just didn't look good stylistically. They've already solved that here. It's looking much better, back on track. And for the other side of KC, as you highlighted rightly, they changed their comp. This is their map pick. They came in eyes wide open, and we're not seeing the validity of it. We're seeing it fall a little short, not quite playing to its strengths, not finding what they needed. Here's an adjustment, though, and a very early lean towards his B side. Deep flash? Yeah, we're away. CNED again played in, takes a lot of space here, and he's feeling confident. He's going to take as much as he's given. He's got a lot of, I was going to say opportunities or opponents, not quite sure which one yet.
Oh,
that's not what he wanted. It's not what he wanted at all. Shin and Martine, okay, starting to clear house. 3 left. Rack still has ult. Getting a little nervous about this one. Yeah, I'm seeing that too. Flank on the way. And the captain's got to find value. There it is. Teed in, teed up, and delivered. Mr. Fallen will be happy with that, but walled off now. This has to have cracks having impact. High flash, still got his knife. Mr. Fallen's going to find Demasti. This is not meant to be going this way.
Remaining.
Listen out to that spike. 3 bullets, cracks. The defuse ain't stopping, and he's done it. FUT aren't losing today. It looks like 9 rounds and a very clear, concise start to this matchup. Fully prepared and fully confident. Flying through these rounds now. And even that was the best opportunity they've had in a moment too.
This flank was huge from Mr. Fallen, but Narrate thought he secured the kill on Cracks and turns around. Oh, he's got to be kicking himself for that one.
And it's rare you see Narrate have a quiet game. I don't think he's doing awfully, but if you're holding Narrate to a higher standard, he's 4-10. It's not the impact game that I'd want from him. I love seeing this guy thrive. He's a key player. Overall, we know what he can achieve, but it's just not being shown here. And a rough time for it to not come through, right? I can't stress it enough. Shanghai qualification is available for the winner of this game. That's what they're after here. Yellow Jay clearing Shin in a heartbeat. Yeah, they spot out the fall, but look at them! It's just back-to-back systematic destruction. KC looking like they barely showed up on this half. What are you meant to do? Yeah, oh!
You should run.
Yeah, you should run. And Andalusia flawless. A 10-2 scoreline.
Insult to industry, you know. It's something that is really standing out to me, though, is FUT's attack sides have looked good. It's not like they're kind of like, you know, they are kind of stealing candy from a baby. KC's been sticking to their setups a little bit too much. They're not playing as lucid. We've seen them before, especially in Narrate on Gecko, just running around, taking whatever fights. Here, they call a setup and they're sticking to it. And CNED is able to just like, dance around like it's a playground right now. But the FUT startup rounds, I like the mixture of fakes. They've used the double initiators so well for the push-pull. They've used combinations with shock darts and mollies to take out the turrets. That keeps KC blind. They've used darts, drones, and knives to fake where they're going, and then they've walked to the other sites. They've done relurks and late backstabs. Everything's looking so good for FUT. Completely different team than we saw yesterday.
It does a night and day, doesn't it? Right? It feels like such a different team. An early attempt at information and positioning coming out from CNED. They're kind of pushing down a little bit deeper, but it's going to be on Ada Captain, who's got to play this very carefully. Easy to be overwhelmed and caught on his own. After receiving no attention on that A side, we are seeing the players drift back over. KC being very quiet about this. We want to be as close as possible. Clear, all of it invested. Ada Captain going to back away. Respect this. Deep wall comes in. Mr. Fallen's there. It's Shin to find Yellow Jay. Okay, this is the best start we've had so far for them. But keep in mind, KC did win the pistol before. Mr. Fallen's just found a shock dart kill on Shin. And the spike's yet to go down here. This is all a scrap around the wall, all around the site itself. It's a 2v2. Magnum and Narrate trying to hold this one together, and that's great from Magnum. But Mr. Fallen in a 1v2, he's still alive! Ooh. That could have been over before it started, but no, KC, they've taken a step. They've taken a step, but I've been hurt in the past, Josh. I've been lied to before with good starts and pistol rounds, and I'm worried. I'm still worried.
we've seen crazier comebacks happen just this past week, right? Not exactly a 9-3 curse, the 10-2, but 10-3 now, and KC definitely has a chance to come back into this. It's going to be difficult without the wingman to plant, without the second initiator to take CNED off those lines. It's going to come down to teamwork, grinding these rounds out.
Oh, but look at the amount of players here. Why do I get nervous? Why do I get nervous? 2 kills. Oh my god. Oh, what is going on? What is going on? Just like bit by bit, it's just like perfectly falling away. Underhand flash swings it. Really nice try. Great from the Wraith though. Needs a bit more. Careful. You're fighting on your own there. And there is a player on the way. Will they consider YellowJ, who's got himself a Vandal? He's got himself a goddamn Vandal, and he's gone undetected for now. Do they think it through? Do they consider it? They're trying to stay together. Oh, God! Insult to injury. The Red Bull clutch, and he just stares him down. This one's done. Put a fork in it. Put a bow in it. Whatever you want. This is... I've seen comebacks, but you're not getting it here. 3-11, Josh.
Tough pill to swallow for KC. And this is the type of push that they should have done on their own defense.
Love to have seen that.
FUT's doing it right back to them. YellowJ finding the Vandal. Like, KC knew he was on the flank. Hey, he's not here. He's not trading us. We're killing this last player backside. It's taken us so long. He's still not screens. He's got to be flanking. They knew about it.
It's a bad day to have an off day, is all I'm going to highlight about this. And FUT look like they've come alive. Okay, so they've tried to gather what they can here for KC. Get whatever purchase they can try and muster. Stingers, bits and pieces, odds and ends. They've been in that weird drawer that's got sellotape in it and scissors. God knows what they've been able to bring out. But it ain't pretty. And Mr. Fallen already going to find one. Looking for the follow-up. It's going to YellowJ and Ada Captain. This is looking like it's over again. They're struggling to land those critical punches, and it's fallen to pieces. 12 for FUT. They've got Shanghai in mind. And they look like they're about to get one map under their belt.
It's crazy, the speed that KC was going up there. They wanted to go A fast. That single initiator's not really giving them the opportunity. Stalled out by the KO Molly in Maze. And before they could even get to the plant spot and get the spike planted, it's a 5 versus 5. And FUT is just going in. And they've been doing it all throughout the first half, trading off of each other, running in on great timings, and making it so stressful for KC, they don't know where to look. Keeping that momentum forwards. CNED. But they do want this.
Yeah, just a touch. I think maybe a wake-up call in that last game. A stark reminder they can all fall apart so quickly. Both having to face some incredible opponents, sure, but what a difference we're seeing today for FUT. At least on that one, but hey, this is KC's choice.
This is KC's choice.
I've got to remind you that it doesn't even feel like that's... It doesn't even feel fair to say. Sunset, not a bad map for KC, so maybe a little bit of something there, but man, you're going to be feeling awful after this.
The last head-to-head, they lost Sunset as well.
I feel like we're piling it on, but we're just going through the facts, so that's a heartbreaking part. And a stall. KC slowing down for a second. Magnum making his way up towards Tube, but it's cracked on the receiving end of a lot of gunfire. Needs to peel away from this. There's 3 players here. Rotation's coming in. 35 seconds. They're quite committed. Now comes up. Big info. Ult comes in. Cracks gets 2. This is done for. 2 left. Shin and Tomasi. This might just be the death rattle. It's a whimper. And it's a 13-3. FUT, outstanding performance, Josh.
What I want to see from them is them getting a little bit looser with it.
Okay.
We saw them kind of calling a setup or a game plan, and they just stick to it so rigidly. I need to see that individual like flowingness. I need to see Narrate unlocking. I need to see Martine unlocking, and just being a little bit more loose, going with the flow of things instead of just standing around waiting. Oh, we have to do this.
Let's see if that's it. They've got themselves fired up and ready to go. Pistol rounds weren't really a problem. They were able to get those a couple of times. So I want to see in those gun rounds too. But a good start's a good start, and that's what they're dreaming of here. Hopes could be dashed pretty quickly, but already, taking a look at this, KC, of course, will be starting on that attacking side, defending side, therefore obviously FUT. But looking at very deep positioning towards A from the defending side, FUT sitting basically off-site, focusing towards top middle, maybe feeling a little read on the back of that, but we can see where KC are actually eyeing up.
This camera for the retake's going to be huge for FUT. and utilizing the breach, full utility purchased.
Yep.
So once KC walk into the site, realize everything's clear, use the wingman to plant.
Here.
That they.
Yeah, we'll see.
I was just double checking because I was like looking at cracks for a second. I'm like, wait, they don't even have it.
All good, all good, all good. Here we go. Paint shell in, force them out. Breach utility invested, unable to close the gap just yet. First appearance made, and it's a 2-for-1 trade. KC keeping numbers much better for them. Confidence potentially building here. Is out of captain, the last one alive, and wingman putting his best performance in there. Tomasi to close down. KC gonna get the first here in the second map, and a good start for them. 4 alive. Time to get back in the game.
What we saw last map was they won first round,
yes,
instantly. FUT, 4-man, huge gamble stack, really aggressive positions, closing it out, just, you know, swarming these guys. We need to make sure that if you're a KC fan here, you're hoping they're able to convert these next 2 rounds. First, this anti-eco, then the bonus round. That's basically the start they need to have. FUT, on the other hand, they still have that confidence flowing through them from the last game, the last map. So they're going to keep that momentum going forwards and take that. They're feeling so good about it.
Yeah, every 50-50, feeling like a 70-30 in their minds after that last one. And you talk about proactive starts, we're seeing them get involved here already. Not too surprising, it's a lot of weight on the shoulders of YellaJay, who's only got the classic, so maybe hoping to catch someone out a little here, maybe do a little bit of chip damage. There is a relatively hefty buy coming back in. YellaJay gonna get a lot of info off this one. Lovely. Can't do much about it, but again, you're looking at those small victories here, if you're being logical. Probably not assuming that it's all gonna go terribly wrong. The big danger man really would be CNED, got himself that sheriff, but I don't know how he's going to get played into here. Tricky to apply that pressure at the right time all together. He's over towards market.
Cage triggered.
Knife going to identify too, so post plant should be stable. Let's see. Can they make this costly? CNED ramping up some shots. Time being purchased. This is good, but here comes the crunch. This is where they will be doing the damage. So far, mostly doing okay. Yeah, KC keeping really cool in this. Better, much better. Yes, they lose out on 2, but they should be able to gather that last Bulldog, I believe. Yes, they do. So no big losses there. That's fine. That's a tick in the box. Another step in the right direction.
This is a very important round for KC. Converting this bonus round is going to be really good because FUT, as we were talking about all throughout this week, is they have been such a big momentum-based team.
Yes.
When they start stringing rounds around, that's when they play best. And if you stop them from being able to get rounds in like multiple rounds in a row, that's when everything breaks down for them. So KC,
This is a nice spot.
it's all on you.
Yeah. What you got for us now? Do they come in with a little bit of a confident start? Well, CNED's certainly up for a fight. He might get one on the other side. KC creeping closer. It's out of captain who's going to stick around a little bit longer. Has his paranoia, has his smoke. When do they decide? Ooh. Tiger, yeah.
Nice peek.
The timing on that, just as the smoke dissipated, rather than reinvest, he went to have a glance. Now this calls in problems.
Mr. Fallen on the rotate already, has the stun ready. That might be all CNED needs to be able to lock these guys down.
He's found Shin too. Smoke's removed, a little bit trickier now to maybe find some stability. And look at this re-aggress here from FUT. Trying to isolate the back line, and they've done well to force him away, but good work from Tomasi at least to stay alive. But now the pressure coming back through. Martin trying to clear through. Mr. Fallen on the trade. This is still back and forth. A 2v2 here. This was the bonus round technically for KC, so you'll still take good damage done, but talk bigger picture, map 1 still will be in the mind. KC clearing CT, going to try and establish a bit of control here. Almost funneling in the FUT side. They now know where they're coming from. That high-low setup waiting to be challenged, and it is. Mr. Fallen is there. The gun round goes to FUT, but it was costly. But for me, I felt KC were in very much a position there to potentially even take that one. That was very, very close.
They were really close, and they had the wingman clear out the spawn angle. I'm surprised that they knew exactly where FUT were, and FUT just waited. Hey, until you actually plant that spike, and then even after that, we wait a few more seconds, because we're putting in your mind the doubt that, have we gone back to CT spawn? Have we flanked around and we're coming A main behind you? And it's going to cause KC to be a little bit curious, peek for that info, and then walk into this 2-man high-low hold.
Fallen, going to deal with the early utility towards the B side, and then sit back towards pillar. Does have support here. He's not, you know, just a single endeavor. Does have Yellow Jay over towards that market. Seemingly worried about maybe top middle being pressured here, but it's an all-in piece from KC. Hyper focus towards the B side. Away we go.
Cage trigger.
Already, Dizzy going to be clearing through. They know that they've got pretty much freedom where they want it. Is there a pre-take in mind? No. No one to build off the back of this. Okay, just a wide open fight. That felt a little short-sighted. And well, it was. That's a 2-for-1 trade out, and now they can just get a stranglehold on the round. The little bit of stall has pretty much cost KC anything here. Lovely composure, but some curious choices from KC. And this is 4 standing. This would really bolster the money, the finances, everything that FUT would have wanted is looking very much on the cards. Tomasi, there's not much he can achieve here. He can make a damn good go of it, but a 1v4 is a lot to ask.
This was a must-win round for KC as well. Yeah. You know, you lose the bonus, not the biggest of deals, but you can't really do an all-in play. You need to be able to make sure that you're either winning the round or making it expensive for FUT. FUT, they have 4 alive right now, though, and they're so quick on the rotations as well. I wonder when KC's going to start figuring this out, that FUT, they're just, as soon as they see like 1 person, 2 people, they're like abandoning the other site and coming in and being able to fight together. 3, 4, 5 people alive, fighting together.
10 seconds left.
That's going to be something for KC to work on as this half develops.
Yeah, as it stands, just reaffirming what we knew, that there's going to be 4 alive at the end for FUT. Those rifles going to be sitting in their hands, and the money will build behind it. A couple of ults very much on the horizon as well. Mr. Fallen, 1 off. A couple more very nearby. You've nearly got that kind of full hand ready to go. Similar scenes on the other side for Carmine Core. One from the showstopper. You've got the ult with Magnum on KO. You've got bits and pieces, but the money's not going to be there to supplement it. So do they want to invest it to try and levy that, or do they wait until the buy's in place? You've got the fish ult as well for Narrate. So there's a lot to be looked at here, but I just don't know if they're going to get the chance to use it.
There.
Another reason why last round was so important.
Okay. Magnum taking early contact, but peel away from this. And I quite like that FUT do put bodies behind it too, and they're trying to keep control of the ult orbs as well, kind of, you know, going through the motions very diligently. But what's the response from KC? They have a couple of danger men, Martine being one of them. Still gonna have that Phantom. The rest, not so much, but still, they could potentially get an ult through this.
There.
They see an opportunity for it.
KC just seems so uncharacteristically scared. Scared to move in.
And it gives me slight flashbacks to Madrid, just not looking like themselves at times, starting to lose faith in the formula that we praised them for. But they do get a plant here, right? They're in the post plant. This is great for them. They've got 5 standing. They've got enough to make a stand out of this.
Tomasi expecting flank.
Yeah.
It's not going to come.
No, disconnecting from the others. But let's see. They've cleared through very early on, so they know it's going to be more of a traditional post plant over towards main. Still some good utility. This is going to force the hand of the ultimate to come out as well. Magnum banking on this one. We're going to have the fish ult coming in as well. This is actually quite a bit, and Cracks just avoids it. Now FUT have an opportunity, a chance to make something out of this now and close that gap, but it's KC holding the line. This is great. Much better from them. Do they get halfway? It looks like they're going to. Yeah, they absolutely are. No one's denying it. They've got to try and pull him away, and they don't in time. The defuse. It's there. KC got this close.
And a lot of ults invested into it as well. We saw the fish from Narrate. He's already halfway back. He's like, okay. Magnum also invested his, but I mean, did a little bit of damage. They have a showstopper for this round as well.
And it did feel close. I don't even blame them for going for that. It felt like they'd done enough to maybe warrant the investment behind it, but...
Yeah. I mean, if the Thrash connected on the players that were close left outside of the main, you would have caught 2 with it. And then suddenly, you know, KC's actually stealing that round away from FUT.
The round by round, FUT starting to remind them of map 1.
And they seem fully in control. I don't know if they're like the most comfortable with the Breach right now. We haven't seen anything too crazy with Breach. Like, yes, Mr. Fallen's having some good individual impact.
But I like this, getting proactive around the map. Now, it should be very indicative that they've seen nothing, but they seem quite prepared for this anyway. Kind of keeping your eyes on where that Cypher's been playing. Yellow Jay was playing off-site. but actually taking a little bit of a glance back. Maybe wants to be involved, wonder if he wants to deny the plant and then back away. Yeah, that's indeed the case. He is in danger though, time to make a bit of a run because Martin would love to close that gap and he's still got time on this. Doesn't get what he wanted. Heartbreak for him. But Casey gonna fight back towards Market. They take some space. Counter ult comes in for CNED.
Planted.
Does he find somewhere to throw this? Clears close, finds nothing for it. Fish gonna come back out. Shin gonna walk the smoke. Perfect. Disrespecting that.
Reposition.
Yeah, he's out of there. Shin's off ski. But Ada Captain gonna remove Tomasi, but to try and break the other four, very difficult. Nice positioning from Narrate in the off angle, and the shot is just stunning. Grax now. 1v3. He's got Wingman, so they're going to have to force a response here, but beautiful positioning. Playing around those smokes very well. That's a bit better from Casey. That's what we want to be seeing. A little bit more of fight in them.
Much more reminiscent of what we expect from Casey. Getting in the faces a little bit, being a little bit loose, individuals just taking action, getting into market, getting into mid, pushing through smokes. We've seen that from them a few times this round. And that's the Casey we know to expect. But if they want to be able to close this out and make it all the way, they need to deal with this version of Casey, not the version that we saw last map.
No, and I often, just every time I look back, it's still there. And a much better performance from him individually. Good to see him finding form when Casey needed him most. We go back in, still able to get a buy here for FUT. Maybe not as perfect as you'd like, and CNED punished this time. FUT got a little too comfortable and be able to fight for that orb and basically take it for free. This time around, denied. The rifle has been filtered back through, so Crack's gonna grab this. Fish gonna come down and connects to Massey. I mean, the smoke's actually keeping them at bay, and Ada Captain gonna put his life on the line to keep them safe. Actually making sure they're in a good enough spot. Jumps over that one, no harm, no foul. 3 players left standing though, he's down very low, 3 HP. And looking on the side, Magnum gonna take him away, put him out of his misery, good trade as well. Lovely work here. But a 1v2 is not impossible, especially for this young talent. No plant yet. How does YellowJ want to approach this? He's just gone into CT and he's got his hat here.
He's got his hat for the bodies. That's going to at least let him know where people are. But he's still going to wait for that spike plant to happen.
He's just walking smoke. Made a go of it. Didn't work out in Carmine Core. Make it up for 4 rounds. Okay, we've got a little bit of a game on our hands now. Starting to look a little bit more like we have a match to watch.
YellowJ wanted to walk through the smoke and catch them off guard, kind of taking that 50-50, like, hey, they smoked this, they don't think I'm going to walk through here. But he didn't know that there was actually a tripwire on the other angle, so they knew he had to be here and only here. They're just trained on him. But that's not the round that you want to have if you're a FUT fan. They just took a timeout to talk about what they're going to do in that round, and then instantly CNED goes down, they lose the round, now they're on a low buy. And that is definitely not the way that you want to invest that timeout.
No, and I'm looking to see how they try and invest CNED here, because he is the one with the rifle. And it looks like Casey want to kind of just give it a moment, right? Let the dust settle. Just see if there is anything weird that's going on, considering maybe where there's a little bit of a shaky purchase. Is there a stack? Are they getting aggressive, proactive? Because we know that FUT have been doing that, so maybe the right read. Late Dizzy invest over towards the A site, but I don't think it would have found anything. And actually, the timing could be nice here for Casey, but the one-way smoke does go up. And the pack backs away.
I think Casey has a read on like the kind of formula FUT has for these types of rounds, grouping up as 4, taking space, or just holding for Casey to walk into them. I think they're also a little bit scared of the breach. They don't want to walk into a stun line and all get affected by it, or a flash peek. But here, they're going on walkabout. I think they had a pretty good read of what was going on. Hey, after X amount of time, if they showed themselves here, they're going to go and gamble stack the opposite site.
The only man who stuck around was the Danger Man himself. But he's going to need to over-deliver, and he's been caught. Beautifully done. Well considered Dizzy, but actually still gets a second lease of life there. Magnum seemingly unaware of the possibility. Drifted through, but the plants come in. Now, outside of CNED, it is only really Sheriff's. Yes, YellowJ's still got his ult, still bits and pieces to work with, but he is actually going to be denied by some utility holding him back on that flank, but they need to start getting that pressure building now. And the captain goes down, CNED falls to Massey, coming online here. Flank does come into play, but a 2v3. Okay, hold on. That's come out. But the time is really low on the clock. Oh my God, they're hitting bangers. Martin now starting to panic, starting to stress. Which way do you look, left or right? The time, it's ticking. He's got to get pressured. Oh, he tries his damn best. And the time.
It's good for Casey.
He's got this.
Thrifty.
Yeah, he's got this.
I like what he was doing in that situation back against the wall, kind of baiting him out by like shooting one direction to bait the peek in from the opposite direction, flicking around. It was so close. It was down to the wire. 0.5.
Yeah, Jay. No right to do this.
Sheriffs.
No right to do
Sheriffs.
this. They're so good at it.
What is it?
I don't know.
Don't buy rifles. No!
That's a killer, isn't it? 'Cause that
That
could have been such a good like springboard round. And it's broken Casey's money. I didn't even think
And
about
their
that.
spirit, yeah.
Ooh.
Like they're missing their flashes now at the start of this round. That's not a good sign after losing a crushing round like that.
Focus up, boys. This is dangerous. I mean, they have every opportunity to do this right back to FUT, right? They've got Sheriffs, they've got Stingers. They've got every opportunity to do just the same thing. And I quite like what they're attempting here, just kind of posting up. Oh, to Massey towards top middle. He can air out these rotations. He could even maybe catch someone. But then this falls onto the shoulders of Cena. Does he overcook this? Does he go too far? He's got players coming. Spots him. Oh my god, yeah, that's almost unfair. And he's sticking around.
He's got the one-way still.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Fair enough, time to peel away. Massey showing his hand towards top mid. But where's the pivot point? Going straight through market. There's still 3 players here, Josh. How the hell are they meant to find any value?
With difficulty, I think.
And they're getting stalled out. You got 40 seconds. If they try and go through market, there's yeah, they know how to captaincy it, and he's still finding value. Might get overwhelmed. No, Mr. Fallen saves him as well.
30 seconds left.
Martin desperate to close down on that kill. And it's down to Shin and Tomasi. Tomasi brilliant with 2. There's still a player on the side. Yellow J's still here. With 18 seconds. Oh my, wait, hold on, Tomasi?
Suddenly.
Okay, oh, that's heartbreaking. And Blant's coming, he knows he's on the side here, but Shin's got himself a rifle, it doesn't matter. Yellow J again just puts the full stop to the round, and that's gonna be FUT taking back the lead now.
I think KC still has a pretty decent understanding of what's happening and what their win condition is and everything like that. Like, we have to keep in mind that FUT kind of won that off the back of, you know, like I want to say like a clutch type of situation. I mean, it was Sheriffs. They got a few individual like picks, and that opened things up. But I think KC still had a pretty decent handle on the entire situation throughout the round.
KC.
These rounds haven't been like super one-sided, right?
No, they haven't. They've been
come
close.
down to the wire.
But I think when we're talking bigger picture and we talk...
KC calls a timeout, they're on attack, they have the showstopper. Are they going to go for a play here? Is FUT going to do something kind of non-standard, knowing that, hey, KC might have a plan here, let's kind of disrupt this somehow?
Speaking of that, CNED right down middle, looking for him, trying to find him. He's going to hear them scattering. Oh my god. How did no one take even a fleck of damage from that? Whew. But the problem is that he heard a lot of movements. They've been able to kind of adjust accordingly if they need to, and he's not backed away. He's still here. This is the confidence, this is the freedom that scares the life out of you. Get you 2 kills as well. Narrate trades it, but now they have to approach the map with a minute left and no idea of what's happened beyond spawn. No smokes to add to it. I mean, they could depend a little on Tomasi, but that's still not easy. You can see on the extremity, Yedaj's already pushed up too.
They look like they want to end B here. A great position.
I was wondering
Great
who's keeping
setup.
Yedaj safe, and we found it, Cracks. Yedaj will be called out of his camera. Doesn't even need to. Cracks got his back. Tomasi and Narrate do make their presence in middle. There we go, spotting the camera, but they're down to 35 seconds. There's 2 of them. Trying to split the attention of FUT, sure, but you still got to stick the landing
30
somewhere.
seconds left.
Wingman's on the way. Gonna note their progress. And they're trying to go through
Info.
CT spawn. But the
There's no time.
Josh, they're at 17 seconds. And if they just play to the clock, there's nothing they can do. This round is just gonna fizzle out.
10
They might
seconds
get hunted
left.
down after the fact as well, potentially.
Probably. I mean, what's the money like for FUT? I don't think it's been super stable, but
Player
it'll be
standing.
valuable. Oh dear. This is not what you wanted to be seeing. KC after a timeout. After a check-in with the coach.
It's a little poetic, though. We saw that earlier in the half. FUT call a timeout. They lose CNED right
Very
off
true.
the rip.
Very true.
They lose the round. KC, same thing. Hey, we call a timeout, but FUT's like, you know what? We've got this pocket strat ready to just whip out right now. We use paranoia towards A. We breach down in the back all the way through the mid-bottom, I guess, area. And CNED going in all the way deep in the guts with the showstopper. Doesn't get anyone with it, but holds that positioning. And it looks scary for a moment for FUT. 1B, 1 mid, you know, they're spread across the map, split 1-1-1-1-1. But CNED still locks down 2.
Still gets them 2.
Included is the smokes. Shin, no smokes for you guys.
Yeah, for like a minute remaining. So a little bit of a pace change, maybe a mid-burst? Yeah, looking like the high flash will swing. Paranoia sent towards the A side of the map, but they seem quite aware of this. They're both playing towards CT, and the timing can be very interesting. I think they caught them on the sun, potentially. Yeah, they did. Well, I don't think it even mattered. Shin's back was turned here. Magnum trying to hold, trying to keep the peace, but he gets outdone. CNED batters him, and we're starting to see FUT look confident, starting to springboard into these rounds. Tomasi, Martin, and Narrate need some miracles, and no one's answering. Cracks and CNED in unison. It's all on one. This round capitulates, and this is a flawless round, an Andalusia flawless. And you said it before, and I think it's right to reiterate, the confidence, the momentum, FUT are starting to come online, and that is heartbreaking for Carmine Core.
And that's the timeout strat that Carmine Core wanted to do in the previous round. They got stuffed. They weren't able to go through the motions of it because right off the rip, stuns in their face with a showstopper. So this is the play they wanted to do. But they have Camp ulti. They have Raze ulti. They're not using either of them to secure that round, which means like that they still have them available here, but like, why are we calling the same strat and not like investing that? They found nothing at middle. And again, deep, CNED goes.
They have no idea about this. They're being funneled forward as well. TP taken, going to reinforce towards CT.
Jeez.
This is all on one side of the map here, and there's no subtlety to it. They want this. FUT looking on fire. Stunned up, slowed down, and the Vice gets closer. Narrate's fallen, so's Tomasi. This is one-sided as hell. Martin desperate to put up a fight. Trying to put up some numbers. Stem the bleeding a little bit here. They've still got a minute on the board. They can still do something. They still have Shin with those smokes. Flash on towards the elbow. Smoke behind him, so he's ahead of this.
Big.
Oh, the flash was so good, and Yenajay got both. This half is looking donezo. Magnum. We need 3 here. He's got the first. He ain't gonna get the second. 8-4. This feels like the start of the end.
KC thought for a second. They got that pistol. They get the next round.
Yeah.
It's looking like pretty even for a little bit, like around like a 4-3
Some of these rounds are looking
4-3.
pretty close as well, yeah.
And then suddenly, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row for FUT. And it's like, yeah, right now their positioning, their rotations are so strong because they're all together. Before KC is able to even make it to the site, again, 3 in front of them, 2 quickly behind. And so many lineup kills as well. CNED's got lineup kills, Yenajay gets a lineup kill there. There's 2 people running around trying to take him out, and he's just holding mouse 1. Doesn't even have to move it.
So here comes the big part of this, right? Madrid, a disappointment for KC. They were one of the, up-and-comers, the teams that people are excited for, seeing glimmers of Gambit in the way they were calling, seeing those protocols looking fantastic. It obviously didn't go well. Fell by the wayside, crushed under the heel of more experienced players. And there was an opportunity here to potentially make it to Shanghai. And that might be slipping between their fingertips, and a better combatant put in their place in the form of FUT. As it stands, Narrate on the verge. Oh, he doesn't get what he wants. No. Cena just walks on through, and Martin does make up for the, I don't want to say mistake, but the mess that happened. And that's much better. Martin doing some good damage now. That's 3 players left for FUT. And Mr. Fallen swept aside. Martin, okay. If he's got to do it himself, I guess he will. Oh, okay. And look at the HP of Tomasi, and look at the position. Yeah, the J considered. Tomasi, big brain work. Cracks.
Oh, man.
No. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
We saw it.
We're like, wait, hold on. This.
Talking about experience, flashbacks.
It just makes your heart sink for a second. But they've done it again, right? They've done what they needed. Got the pistol. Now we're going to need to see that in the gun rounds, though.
Still, both pistols, and they're still down by 3 rounds.
Yeah.
You're still not in a... we see that on, like, Narrate's face after he, I don't know, like, misses his shots, and then kind of, like, it feels like his mouse went off the mouse pad a little bit, and he's not looking happy about whatever's happening here. And we've seen it from, like, everyone.
Yeah.
Magnum missing these flashes off the rip when the barrier drops. It's the little things like this where you can tell that mentally they're kind of nervous.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
It's almost tangible at this point, right? You can you can kind of see it.
Don't worry. I'll keep them
Even in the
quiet.
loss though, FUT do come back in with a very light purchase. Just cracks this time with that Sheriff. Light Shield I think was invested too for Cena. That's about it. On the other side, Bulldogs, Vandal, plenty to report. Relatively simplistic approach here. But gotta be careful. Those classics have been seen in the last couple of days to do some serious work to Massey. Knife's edge sort of stuff. Gonna get the plant.
Spike
So that's
planted.
into the post plant. Do they have any utility to really depend on? Not really here. It was very light for FUT. They're not over-investing at all. The captain just gonna stick around. Gonna get cleared very quickly. KC could do with this being clean. Nice from Martin again. He's doing very, very well here. It's fine, the defuse is still happening. Diffuse is still happening. If I see that stop happening, then I get nervous. For now, all good. If they can get that Vandal back, they should be okay. But I've said this before, Josh. I've seen this before. We've seen it. What feels like every start of these halves.
I wonder if KC should just call their timeout right now. Like, this round
kind of
could be
wish
huge,
they would.
right?
Yeah.
Like, if they're able to convert this bonus round and then use that momentum, FUT probably has to do a Sheriff round. Scary. But, I mean, and then this is also Lil Bro diffusing here, getting Narrate a little bit closer to that ulti. Another reason why.
I mean, Martin's got his, right? So it's like, that's a really impactful ult. Maybe could you consider what to do with? Maybe they've already got something in mind, but I'd like to see them come into this with, you know, with something outlined. Because as you highlighted, this is a very clear start. And speaking of, Martin's off, trying to find one.
I push through this.
I don't
Wasted.
think that was the call. They seemed really into the concept of trying to shut down on towards that side, but it didn't feel confident enough to go for it, really. You're not going to be able to chase someone down, so...
Especially not through a one-way
Readily.
smoke. Your own one-way smoke. It'll give the opponents one, but
Oh, God.
we saw this from KC in the first half.
There's 3 players here, at least, for KC, right? Reinvesting the smoke. Martin. No satchels to get away, so he's kind of stuck to this one if he wants to stick around, but there was a good knife. They've got some good chip damage.
I can't use that.
Reaction to take B main control from Tomasi here.
But they're going to be pivoting straight through market. Magnum got just that ghost to work with, so it's tricky to deal with the flood of them, but actually it's hindered them, okay? It's not been the perfect approach, so...
It seems low time, but they still have a lot of time to work with FUT here. And KC, not really with a lot of map control. They've lost
30
mid.
seconds
They
left.
do have kind of a line on A, but not really.
Going out.
Okay, but I kind of like that they gambled players towards the A site, because I mean, I like it because it's worked out, but it was a good read coming back into this. Now down to 18 seconds. Yeah, Narrate's position just becomes more and more powerful the longer this goes on. KC, this is better. This is what the doctor ordered. Beautiful. And again, 10 seconds, you're looking
10
for the round.
seconds left.
That's what they need. Yeah, clean would be ideal, but you'll take what you're given here. Denial on the plant, and now we're looking at that clock. 3 seconds. Shen gonna really make sure, and there it is. Game back on. They've got past a hurdle that held them back last time.
No, without jinxing anything, but this is like exact kind of formula, recipe, ingredients you need for KC to come back and take this path. Dare I say it? It would be kind of, you know, ironic how they're able to take out, you know, the map that they lost the last head-to-head. They lost their own map pick.
Yeah.
They're
I
looking
see it.
shaky.
Hey, that's how you get your confidence back. That's how you start believing in the same sort of look.
You don't want to get ahead of yourselves because FUT with Sheriffs now, and they do have Trash.
And it was only one difference of a round, okay? I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yep, it's so close.
It is very close, and there's not pressure on FUT, so they can be quite audacious in these rounds of timing. Nice, Magnum's gonna be rewarded for that. And the captain was watching that, and the second he looked away, of course Magnum comes walking out. Trying to close that gap a little, but he doesn't need to go for too much information now, Magnum. He can play safe. He's got to be careful of his back, which he is. Doesn't want to get pinched here. For FUT, they're just kind of being very individualistic about it, but why not? You've got Sheriffs, very little to lose, but Cena's been able to get quite far into this. Decent clear. That can be called out. And yeah, Tomasi, they're in unison with Magnum. Going to stop J from trying to creep through towards B main. And away we go. Can they close towards either of these players? No, they'd already slipped away. Smart move from KC. Maybe understanding they're a little vulnerable there. And the plant going to come in. So far, 5 standing for KC. This is good. You want to see those rifles remain,
Spike
build up that
planted.
bank. Don't allow these Sheriffs to find the value that they're known for. That's a start, but a better answer. Good work. It's all on cracks. Not going to be able to get the reload. Shut down in time. KC avoid another tragedy. Another car crash, and they get up to an even score, 8-8 now. Much better.
And we see their setups actually making sense on this map compared to Icebox, where you'd have like a 2-1-2 setup. They don't really have a lot of opportunity to connect with one another or like fallback options once you get pushed off an angle. But here, we can see exactly how it works. They have two people locking down A main, and because of that, a Link player gets a third player. A Link is able to spot mid top, and then the B players are playing just to receive a little bit of pressure, get a kill, fall back to the next angle, get a kill, fall back to the next angle, and that works out so well for these guys because they're just in full control of the round.
But we do see the ults coming through on the other side as well. Crack's gonna have his here. Hat there for YellowJ, one off for CNED. And actually, this flash could be really nice if timed correctly. I mean, it's a bit of a shot in the dark, but it could be pretty good. There's the flash, there's a swing, beautiful, huge reward as well. Had a captain trying to do his best tens impression above that smoke. You're gonna hear that ult go through as well, but the paranoia posted and you're gonna see them scramble, right? Mr. Fallen's gotta run. Try and find some safety towards mid because he knows that they've lost control of B main. So I like this, KC getting a bit more confident. Seeing them making choices. Fighting together. Magnum gonna find cracks, and this should be good for Tomasi too. I don't think he can, oh, okay, hold on. That's CNED with the ult, but the spike can be retrieved.
Got the spike.
I'm not nervous yet, but there's something that makes me feel uncomfortable about this.
A little bit of whack-a-mole there for a few moments, but KC waiting for the spike to be planted before they decide that they're gonna press forwards. They do have two different really good ultimates.
Okay, I like that. I like seeing Magnum utilize this early, trying to make sure there's no threat. Smoke's gonna go up towards elbow side. It's gonna be Mr. Full. Oh. Okay, Shin. Relax, CNED. There we go. KC3 standing. Much better. Josh, I feel like they're getting in the rhythm of the game here. It's still tentative. It's still a little bit scary. But they're starting to get the grip here. Now, does FUT call the timeout soon? Is it their turn to maybe try and come back in with a concept? Because we are seeing Carmine Core with a bit of a reminder of who they are. This is 5 rounds now. Consecutive rounds building back into this game.
Let me defuse.
FUT should use, let him defuse. Is, understanding that, just making sure you're getting the right agents closer to the ultimates makes a lot of sense.
Right there.
I mean, it sounds like a really basic thing. FUT should call a timeout because right now, if they aren't able to win here, it's going to give KC so many rounds that if they trade rounds back to back to back, it's going to end in the favor of KC. And FUT need to win multiple rounds in a row here. They need a good game plan around that.
The paranoia and the swing. Oh, okay. That's a man advantage. We haven't seen one of those in a minute. So how does KC respond to this? Do they double down? Do they back? They're doubling down. There is utility in the... Oh my god, YellowJ. Yeah, he is. Yeah, caught. He's actually got to cover. Shot from Magnum though. Just a flick of the wrist towards Mr. Fallen. And they're just willing to brawl this out, which is pretty dangerous, but if you're going to back yourself, why not? Magnum,
so
feeling
slippery.
it.
Love it.
To pin down. But CNED's position is terrifying to me. Yeah, they're going to get his position now, but it's a little too late to be calling that in. Plant's going to come through.
Spike planted.
Deep flash. Buys a couple of seconds, and a captain goes down. Did some chip damage, but not enough to really write home about. It's on Cracks and CNED. The ult, not what he wanted either. The gap closing now. You're going to have Cracks towards the back of pillar, CNED towards market, but the cross is happening. Clean shot. Oh dear, this is when you're getting a little bit of a sweaty palm moment, but Magnum doing wonders. But Cracks can be clean with it too. That's good enough. 32 HP, but Magnum is sitting better off. But time. Magnum's got to make a choice. He's got to make it now. Checking on the half foot. Not out of it yet with a Red Bull clutch. They come back in. Keeping this scoreline as close as ever. Finally breaking that run of rounds. What is it now? 5 held where it is. But Carmine Core should be able to keep their cool, right? They should be composed. It was just, a rough start. Went for something risky at the beginning, didn't work out.
I know exactly.
I do like how KC has been loose in some of these rounds here. And it was looking good all the way until CNED was deep in the spawn, catches narrate on the rotate. And even though all of that happened, KC still had a lot of control. It came down to that 2 versus 1 where they split up. One went left, one went right. And that gave the opportunity for FUT to close out the round. Now KC, they really need this one. Their money is not looking great. 2 players on 100 credits, just about.
I'm looking at how willing they were to commit towards taking A there. Taking a decent amount of space towards elbow, but you can already see, I think it's Shin who's just kind of shouldering it, jump spotting to make sure no one's actually making progress, but they're keeping 3 players committed to this. You can see that next layer of paranoia being top middle, but a very passive hold towards B, probably the right shout. Got Mr. Fallen with the ult, had a captain with his, J still on his, not really had an opportunity to use that. On the other side, Narrate, Shin. Now KC, looking to deny the wingman plant, but he puts his life on for it. CNED gonna take down Tomasi. That could be the green light, but look who's trying to take his place. Magnum, but only for a moment. 1 by 1, they're trying to get towards the site and they're falling. Maybe not aware of the progress that was made here by FUT. 3 towards CT.
Planted.
Cornered in, Carmine Core maybe getting a little nervous, getting a little worried, because this could be 10 for FUT. And a 3v5, it ain't easy. And a captain with a perfect paranoia, but a bit too close. Plays in cracks, though, as he gets the individual targets. And Martin left in a 1v3. This would be time for heroics, but I don't know if he's got the time. The clock's still ticking, and 4 bullets to play with, and CNED on the hunt goes down. The trade's there. J not going to let it slip. This is a terrifying time, but things start going wrong.
Whenever FUT's getting these first picks, it looks like they have such good control over the round. And I do wonder, on the KC side of things, we see them on some rounds, they're playing like pretty loose and it's looking good for them, but then they'll make a mistake on one of the rounds where they're maybe a little bit too loose or too proactive. They leave a gap. CNED's able to exploit that gap. It happened a couple of times now so far where he's able to slink through, oh, you guys are gonna do this fight over here, okay, I'm gonna take the space. But last round, KC stuck in their setup. They lose the A control and they're just so on the back foot, and then the B trying to deny the wingman from planting, they lose Tomasi instantly.
Oh, yeah.
And then the rest of the round just falls apart. They bleed out. FUT, full control.
Yeah, and quick control through towards Market. CNED wants to try and backfill the space he was given. And Anna Captain, the one actually rewarded, but now look how close they are to the chopping block here. Magnum, great work to try and stem that, slow that down, deny that kind of springboard in, but now he's kind of in no man's land, and they know about Shin. Oh, he's no chance! 11 looking so likely. Narrate and Tomasi got to be frustrated about this. Great shot from Tomasi. Can't stop the plant, but still, it made it look
Spike planted.
closer. What can they do now? Still with the ult to be invested for a second time of asking. J ready to swing if needed. Trying to be played in now. Get the timing right. Ooh, Narrate has no idea. None the wiser. And none closer. Held on 9. FUT make it to 11 and things are getting scary. A couple more rounds and FUT lock in Shanghai. KC, you can see it on the faces, starting to look worried, and the timeout has been called. This is crunch time. This is the best chance they're going to have now.
They've looked worried for a few rounds. There was a period in the middle of the game where they're like, oh, actually, maybe we can do this comeback. But without both those pistol round wins, KC, they would have lost by now. FUT already qualified to Shanghai at that point. So right now, yeah, they're coming to terms with the fact.
It's a big round. It's now pretty much never. This would be 12 on the board,
No more
right?
charges.
This is almost booking your ticket to Shanghai in this moment. So if there was a plan in mind, a theory to bring out, it's got to be now. And for FUT, they can just turn the pace up, but Shin wants to go again. He doesn't want to drop it on this round. He's going to get them the first and fall away. Perfect beginning.
So important for KC to close this out, because if they lose it, it's basically almost game. Their money will be in the gutter. Man advantage is going to help, but again, CNED walks into B. B is free. As soon as that A pressure is seen, they take all the space. CNED's pushed through before. This time, maybe considering not to.
This midwalk is going to put a couple of question marks. I guess it's feeling like it's all in, right? FUT trying to find some sort of safety, kind of trying to pin down where these players are. And look at Spawn. This could be such an interesting dynamic between the two. With that shot rattling off, Mr. Fallen's going to turn attention. Do they even think that there could be anyone here? He could be the master of disaster. There's 3 players that are none the wiser, and he's going to be able to back clear this. No one's coming this way. Don't worry about it. Focus elsewhere. Focus Market, focus CT. Don't worry about this. He's behind them. He's behind them right now. There's so many players he's about to spot out here, but he doesn't be able to take anyone with him. Martin isolates cracks. How the hell did that go wrong for Mr. Fallen? It looked perfect. J, what a turn! Takes down 2 towards CT, punishes the cross. He is fighting with everything he's got. Mr. Fallen getting back to try and control by B main. J adjusting, looking through towards Market for the defuse. It's still happening. Oh, Martin! clutching the hell up here. The time to come online was then. KC not out of it yet. Getting themselves up to double digits, but that was down to the wire.
Man, that's the trend this game, right? Down to the wire. Every round is so close. It's rare that we see a round where there's like 4 players alive on one side, 3 players alive even. It's always down to like 1 or 2 alive. Narrowest of margins. At 0.5 second defuse type of situation happening on the first half.
Player standing. 1 enemy remaining. Impressive.
Another reason why having the wingman on the defuse is so important there. Because while the defuse is getting to half, 2 players are able to keep their guns out.
And even then, even in that
Same flash push.
My God, Shin rewarded again. Rinse and repeat and be rewarded. This time it's had a captain going down as well. That smoke's then removed. How much do they adjust? They didn't get to see this last time around. Yetajay seemingly aware of the presence. They're toying with expectation now, leaving a lot on the shoulders of Shin. The man who remained from that early roster, showing off his potential time and time again, but he is under fire here. Time to back away.
2 players spotted for EMEA now, Breach and Gecko.
Is that enough? It looks like it is. They're starting to pull players over. CNED choosing his time to strike. Catching Martine on the cross. Slowly drifting through. That's a 4v4 now. And keep in mind, even with that round win, the repurchase was poor from KC. They had to try and scramble something together. We've got Guardians and Bulldogs. But in a great position. Gonna catch Mr. Fallen and fall away. A little bit of chip damage and back, chip damage and back. Still the paranoia with Shin. And they're just holding these positions. FUT being given just a little bit of access in. Looking for that plant, tap, no response. Readjust, different plant now.
Spike planted.
Initiation of this retake is going to be Magnum's ultimate coming in. It's going to prevent CNET from being able to use Showstopper. The 4-on-3 playing the numbers.
2 towards elbow, and just CNET standing, being the turret on the side, can be forced away from the first angle, but it's all through CT, all players, and they do get boss cracks. But Yetajay still stands, he gets a 3. Oh, God!
Okay, done.
You try and run past them. CNET and Yetajay in perfect unison. They understood it. They saw the game plan. And they just played it as an aim fight as they crossed towards it. 12 now found for FUT. This is devastating for KC. Getting so close within touching distance. And Yetajay on the bailout. Those 3 were incredible.
How many times have you think we've seen that this game? Just like one person sitting down, holding their ground, multiple people swinging out to take them out, and just holding mouse 1, getting the spray transfer, 2, 3 players there. Nothing but headshots.
1 round away now, Josh. They're this close, and they haven't got much to stop these ults here. It's all looking like it's going towards that B site. Tomasi still here. Magnum still here. They have the stingers. They're not the ones with the bigger weaponry, but denied on the first go of things. They're trying to slow them down, trying to hold them back. Can anyone get the punish they can? Martine gonna get both here. Seeing it, Nana Captain go down. This is huge work from Carmine Core. A heartbeat still shown. Maybe life in them yet. Crack's gonna take those first couple of steps. Clears close, that's Magnum. Second though gonna be Martine. Good trade, but still the numbers very favorable towards KC. A 3v2, 56 seconds, and they're looking for a plant, something to work with. The hat invested, they got info. Ringer, Rosie, we go. 49 seconds, they can make a run for it. It's open. Mr. Fallen's just gotta be able to play safe here. Buy a couple of seconds, buy some time. TP's on. He's heading on over, and he's committed. He's beating them to the punch here. They've got to be aware of the possibility. How does he play it? A risk? No, surely not. Not in these moments.
Spike planted.
The plant's in. Look at the positioning. Yetajay on the site. Mr. Fallen playing deep towards CT. Camera to be utilized, trying to be treated as the 3rd man almost. And they're opting for the long way around. What utility do they have? A smoke, TP, and not much else. That's about it. No flashes, no anything to bring in. It's the guns in hand and whatever hope they've got left here. Mr. Fallen ready to deny this. The swing's just perfect. Oh, it's just perfection in motion. FUT now 1 kill away, and it's Shanghai bound. FUT do it in